Hi BookTube, Bill Ruttenberg here with the Ruttenberg Library. Coming back to you with another shelf tour here. Just going to keep continuing this journey on down the bookshelves. And we're still in the middle bookshelf right at the moment. And we are now on shelf number 4. And this will be the last shelf that I do for this middle bookshelf. And then we'll move over to the one on the right side. But as you can see from the spines here, this whole shelf is almost nothing but Lincoln. I think there's only one exception to the rule, and so you're going to get a full dose of some of my Lincoln books. This is not even close to all my collection. I've got well over 80 Lincoln books in the collection, which maybe some of you have got more. That's okay, but to me, I'm pretty proud of my Lincoln collection. My wife's always asking me, why are you buying another Lincoln book? Don't you know everything about Lincoln? I'm like, no. Different authors, different perspectives. And he's the greatest American. I mean, you can't beat Lincoln. So anyway, I have a bad habit of buying. Every time I see a Lincoln book, I buy it with pretty much no exception. So anyway, I hope you enjoy this. So anyway, let's go ahead and get this bookshelf tour started. So up on top we've got Tried by War, Abraham Lincoln as the Commander-in-Chief by James McPherson. I've shared with you before, this is on my to be read list. McPherson's one of my favorite nonfiction authors. I've read a couple books by him. I've read The Battle Cry for Freedom, which is the one listed down here, and I've read the Civil War, the Second American Revolution, I think is the name of another one that he's done. He's done one by Gettysburg on hallowed ground that I really liked. So he's got several of them that I like, and I'm guessing I'm probably going to really like this one. So that's the first one. Next one on the list, this is the only non-Lincoln book on the list, and it's Hearts Touched by Fire, the best of battles and leaders of the Civil War. So this is edited and with an introduction by Harold Holzer. It's got several different authors. Some of them that they list are James McPherson, James Robertson, Stephen Sears, Craig Simmons, and Joan Waugh. So you can see that book there. And it's a door stopper, as you can tell. It's got, holy moly, it's a year's worth of reading. It's got, let's see, over 1227 pages. So that is a thick monster that will take a while, I'm sure. But it's a Civil War fan's delight. All right, here we go. Back to Lincoln. Re-electing Lincoln, The Battle for the 1864 Presidency by John C. Waugh. Okay, and there's the... Sorry. I'll get that right one of these times. Next one on the list here is The Living Lincoln, The Man in His Times in His Own Words by Paul Engle and Earl Myers. And that's a thicker book also. Well, the next one is The Lincolns, Portrait of a Marriage by Daniel Epstein. Yeah, it's got a pretty cool cover to it. Pretty cool picture. And there's the spine. Sorry about that glare. And the next one that's on the list here is by Allen Guelzo. I like Allen Guelzo a lot. I've read a couple of his other books, thoroughly enjoyed it. I like listening to him teach. I listen to his lectures online. Just really good stuff. Abraham Lincoln, the Redeemer President. And that's, like I said, by Allen Guelzo. He teaches at Gettysburg College. And I just have a lot of respect for him. I listened to a great, oh goodness, what are those classes called? the online, or you can get them on DVD. Well, anyway, I've listened to his one on Lincoln, and it's really good. Here is Bloody Crimes, The Chase for Jefferson Davis and the Death Pageant for Lincoln's Corpse by James Swanson. And he did the book Manhunt. I have not read that. I've heard about them, but I have not read them myself. And so, anyway, another one I want to get to one of these days. Here's Lincoln Observed, Civil War Dispatches of Noah Brooks, edited by Michael Burlingame. And it's kind of a thin volume. It should be probably, my guess is, a pretty quick read. It's just, 282 pages or so. Something like that, 284. Here's a book I found at Gordman's. That was kind of a surprise. It was a $3 paperback. It's called Six Encounters with Lincoln. A President Confronts Democracy and Its Demons by Elizabeth Brown Pryor. And I didn't even know Gordman's sold books, but they sell their paperbacks for $3 and hardbacks for $4, and they're brand new. It's pretty good. It's a pretty good deal. So, gonna get going on this book one of these days. Next one in line is Lincoln, A Contemporary Portrait, edited by Alan Nevins and Irving Stone. Here's that book. Some of these, like I said, this collection I've got, it's a little bit of a hodgepodge, because I've picked up books from used bookstores, from the Goodwill. I buy them brand new every once in a while. I get them when the public library gets rid of them. I get them when the school library gets rid of them. So I've got a hodgepodge collection here, but like I said, I thoroughly enjoy it. So my next one is The Life of Abraham Lincoln by Stephen Laurent. It's an illustrated biography with over 180 pictures, and this biography was okay. I read it. It wasn't anything special. There wasn't really anything that I didn't learn a whole lot of new stuff from it. I'd already knew it, but it did have a lot of good pictures in it. I will give it that. But again, even the pictures weren't really anything special. I had seen all those pictures before for the most part. But it was a nice little volume if you're not familiar with Lincoln. Now, this book is kind of cool. When I went to Books Revisited, the guy behind the counter, I'd asked him, do you have any books on Lincoln in the back or any books on Washington? And he come out with this, and it's called Lincoln by Lucy Foster Madison. And the guy behind the counter pointed out that the illustrations in this book, he really likes them. And it's illustrated by Frank Schoonover. And you can see by the cover, it's got some really cool artwork. And I'll show you maybe a couple pictures here, if you can see that. I mean, the artwork in this is absolutely beautiful. And that's a classic picture right there. I've seen that one several times in other books too. But the artwork's just beautiful, and this book was probably worth it just for the artwork. I'm sure the story is good too. I mean, anything on Lincoln's good usually, but probably got that one more for the artwork. All right, the next one is it's actually a 4-volume set. I've only got the first 3 because the 4th one hasn't come out yet, and they are by Sidney Blumenthal, and I'm going to pull them out in a little bit different order because they are out of order. But the first one is The Political Life of Abraham Lincoln, A Self-Made Man, 1809 to 1849, again by Sidney Blumenthal. Okay, and I noticed Peg over at the history shelf, if I'm not mistaken, she has one of these on her shelf, or maybe 2 of them on her shelf as well. Here's volume 2, Wrestling with His Angel, 1849 to 1856, again by Sidney Blumenthal. And I've shared with you, Lincoln's my favorite guy to read about, so I was real excited when I was able to pick these up. This one I had still in the plastic when I had ordered it, and it was still in the plastic, and yep, it's still got that brand spanking new smell. I love that smell. But this is Volume 3, All the Powers of Earth, 1856 to 1860. And I'm guessing I'm probably going to enjoy this one the most, because that's right in my wheelhouse, my favorite time period to learn about. And so that's the 3 volumes on Lincoln. It's gonna, like I said, it's gonna be a 4-volume series when it's all done, I believe. This book is the Lincoln Family Album, photographs from the personal collection of a historic American family, by Mark E. Neely Jr. and Harold Holzer, who are both big Lincoln historians. And Harold Holzer is pretty famous for his, just compiling Lincoln stuff. A lot of his books are just big compilations of his letters or stories about him. I've got several books on him by Harold Holzer, and they are all pretty much like that. But this has just got, it goes through the Lincoln Family Album and explains all the different pictures that are in there. It gives the story behind why those pictures are in there. And that was kind of a neat story. I've read that one. And then the last one that we got on the shelf is another big volume, and it's 20 Days by Dorothy Meserve Kuhnhart and Philip B. Kuhnhart Jr. A narrative in text and pictures of the assassination of Abraham Lincoln and the 20 days and nights that followed, the nation in mourning, the long trip home to Springfield. And there's a foreword by Bruce Catton in there. But I have not read it yet, but I am fairly certain I am going to enjoy it. Everything on Lincoln I pretty much enjoy. But anyway, that's my current Lincoln shelf. That's downstairs right at the moment. The rest of my books on Lincoln are upstairs in the upper room, and there are a lot of them. And I hope to sometime share the volumes that I've read on Lincoln. They're, like Team of Rivals, and I have a book on the secession winter, right when Lincoln gets elected, but before he takes office, that winter time. I've got books, I don't know, just lots of them upstairs. I'm very excited to share them with you when we get to that point. But that's going to be in the future. I hope you enjoyed this film or this video. I hope that maybe it helps you get some ideas of some stuff to buy. And anyway, have a good night.